So the U.S. Navy is now using a drag queen to solve recruiting crises on the heels of what's happened with Bud Light. For what? To do what? There's no way this ramps up recruitment. How can it? For any of the 4 branches, 5 branches, including the Coast Guard. Sorry, guys. And gals and drag queens. That's part one. Now the part that infuriates me. So what is happening in schools across the country is this progressive mentality from administrators and boards of education are allowing men, in some cases boys, men, to, if it's a college campus, men to participate in female athletics. High schools are dealing with the same thing. There was a student at Martin Luther King High School who got up and talk about a poet. She said it better than I ever possibly could. So let's listen in on her audio as she addressed a board of education at a meeting.
Oh, ladies and gentlemen, and only ladies and gentlemen it is and shall always be. I am an 18-year-old high school student and wanted to take this time to bring to your attention the current issue with biological men claiming they are women and in turn truly believing that they are entitled to use women's spaces. There was an incident within our district that occurred recently regarding a transgender woman who really is a biological man having an altercation with a young woman at MLK High School. It was infuriating when I had seen the video on social media, but what was detrimental to this is the fact that this man is and has been using the women's restroom and locker room. Firstly, the question we must address is why are we affirming the mental confusion of this boy and putting the safety of women in jeopardy by allowing mentally confused men to use the women's spaces? Of course, any male who claims he is a woman will accept it, but what about the women? What about the true girls like myself who are female down to our DNA? Why don't we ever get a say in whether or not we are comfortable with this? The truth is, we aren't. The majority of us aren't, and yet nothing has been done to protect the safety of these women. I will conclude with this. It all starts with you. You are in charge of the safety of us women and the kids of our parents. So please do something about it. Thank you.
She hit a phrase which should stick with everyone. Mentally confused men. Mentally confused men with access to your young female daughters, sisters, cousins. Young, confused, potentially mentally unstable men. Naked in a locker room with your daughters. What else needs to be said? What are we doing? Can you think of any other situation where you would let a mentally unstable, confused man near your child? Can you think of one? I'll wait. Yet we're doing it in schools across the country. Right now. Men, biological men, or boys in high school, if they're not 18 yet, are dressing. Fully intact males are dressing in locker rooms with your daughters. And you've let it happen. The only thing I can say, I think, is that if you have a female who's an athlete and they're allowing a male to play in that league, every single female, everyone, should refuse to play. Everyone. I know it's a big ask because girls, I know you're training like monsters in some cases. And a lot of you are such incredible athletes. And to give up what you love, but you've got to prove a point. You've got to stand up. if these Board of Educations won't budge on this issue, or states, administrations, or what have you, or governors or state houses won't yield or bend on this, just stop playing. Stop. Do not play the sport anymore. If it's lacrosse, stop playing. All of you. Anytime there's a trans in your league, stop playing. They have set back female athletics 50 years. I cannot imagine that members in their right minds of boards of education or school administrators or sports administrations like the CIAC or whoever is in control of making the ultimate decision that a biological male should compete with females. Whoever's making that final decision, I cannot believe that they would allow their daughter, if they had a daughter who was playing that sport, to dress in a locker right next to a fully intact biological male. If this isn't child abuse, I have no idea what is.